KollinsPlays Feed the Beast Monster. Do not touch the green book. It's a clever trap if you have not been warned. Hey Minecraft fans, it's Collins. Making sure this works. So I have an ender pouch tied to my ender chest to go in the storage system. And I have another one called toolbox, which keeps some stuff in my inventory. So, you know, there's some potatoes and some things that I want to keep in there, and I got all my quarry stuff in there in the test rack for now. And I had to make sure that this works. So if I toss this linking book back home into the storage system, it'll show up in this toolbox chest. I had to make sure that works. Yeah, so we're gonna try some Mistcraft out. Here's something cool that I've seen. So we've used this water reservoir over here with the remote IO water reservoir with the open block sprinkler, and it's not lit up blue because it doesn't have enough water to like feed an engine or something, but it does put out enough water to feed like this sprinkler, which is pretty cool. And the other thing I figured out is it does have enough water in it even when it's not lit up to refill a water bottle. So now we can do that for the... Oh, did I just drink you? What's the deal? And I'm dropping ink sacks on the ground. This is total fail. Okay, so I can make the water bottle. I can make that. We can stick this in here. And I already made the linking book back home. And what am I going to do with 10 Twilight Lake biome pages? I'm going to make a Twilight Lake biome world, because these are the only pages I have. So we're going to make this book, Mistcraft. Uh-oh, achievement get one-way ticket. That should be your first sign that something's wrong. Let's see. Let's do this real quick. Oh, and I gotta go in and do this thing. So let's take a stick and let's take a plank. And we'll fix this recipe and encode it. And we're going to teach Emmy how to make a book stand for us, because even though that's really easy, it's, yeah, that's what we do. We teach the Emmy system how to do everything for us. Sweet. I don't have, why did I make it? That's why I put the lectern there earlier. Lectern, age 2. Done. Oh, it's even got my name on it. That's cool. That must be something new. See, we got food, torches, jetpack is charged. Let's charge this up the rest of the way. We don't want that to fail. Let's see, jetpack. We'll just hit the spare one, put it on. These are a little funky. I don't know. Like, I'm gonna have to use like a fuzzy bus and some weird thing to get the tools to recharge automatically. Because previously, what I did is the ender chest, like my toolbox chest, would be right next to a universal charger, but I can't put the TE tools in. Well, I can put them in here, but they won't charge, even though they'll charge in the energetic infuser, and the energetic infuser is a component to make the universal charger. Okay. So, full jetpack, check. Full tools, check. Blocks to build with, check. Stash of supplies in here, check. Is there? Oh, those are apiaries. Okay. The apiaries I just used to check out like beehives and stuff. Let's use that. Let's put that in there too. We're ready to see what this does. And through the magic of video editing, the Mistcraft world instantly loads. And it's stable. But nether mob spawn. So we are, what are we doing? Mushroom Island Shore, Phantasmagoric Infernal, which is one of the biomes in the nether. So this one doesn't look too hot. Let's try again. And again, through the magic of video editing, we have instantly appeared in Twilight Lake biome number 2 Mistcraft world. looks like we got something going on over there and over here. Not sure what this light is. Let's check this out. Oh, it's another fortress. Dang, sweet. Is there a blaze spawner? I should totally capture the blaze spawner with a... I need to bring my diamond dolly. It's an underwater nether fortress. Sweet. The ice biome? So it's not all Twilight. Oh, dude, check out all the blizz. Yeah. Alright, so this is Twilight Lake biome, which I knew would be a giant river, but we're using whatever Mistcraft age we get. This works. And I don't know, I think I mentioned this before, I'm not sure if the, you know, the stuff on the pad, like in the end, when you spawn in the end, whatever's that you spawn on this obsidian pad, which looks just like this, but it's made of obsidian, and every time you respawn in the end, that obsidian pad, like if there's any blocks there, will be deleted. But I don't know if that works like that here. But we're gonna do something really derpy. 3, 4, and a couple over here. And a torch goes there, and we're just gonna, yeah, I don't even care. I just want a world I can rip apart. And this is gonna fit the bill. So Tesseract, Ender Chest, and a power conduit. Oh, and I made one of those. Let's do that too. While we're here. So, I don't know, where's the chunks at in here? Where, yeah. I should probably go out this way. Whatever. Query. Ender chest. How did I do this last time? Oh, I did it on the side, that's right. So, query, ender chest, tesseract, power conduit, boom. Sweet. We don't need this on. Yeah. And actually this makes it kind of easy because I don't have to worry about lava because there's automatically water. I hope the query doesn't get stuck on the water. How many did it say it's going to load? 2 chunks loaded. That's not too bad. And I realized why I made the book stand. Was because I could put it down in the Mistcraft world. So we'll do this for a while. There's no land, so there's no, we can't do the marker thing. Let's do this really quick too, since we're here. So if I right click the hang glider and then boom, I'm on the hang glider. Where'd those guys go? Come here. Is this gonna be messy? How nasty are blizz? Because we can do all this cryothium stuff now too. Whoa, 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 whoa! Oh, check these guys out. They're like all over me. I just want, did I get him? Oh yeah, that turned colors. Okay. Dude, they're like peltering me. Are they following me? Cool. And it looks like it's hitting the ground, so I think we're good with that. And we will slowly fade back, and we're gonna chew up a Mistcraft world. I don't care how lame or cool it is. I might come back here and look for some of the libraries, which I'm hoping the way that generated, the libraries will come up, like they'll just be sitting above the water, so it'll be easy to find. But we'll find out. So now we're gonna query a Mistcraft age, just like everybody else does. We built a tree farm and a steam boiler, and we're querying a Mistcraft age, and it's all things you've never seen anybody do in modded Minecraft ever before. Alright, let's see what else we got cooking. We're probably not going to show a whole lot of the querying the Mistcraft world stuff, because, again, everybody's done it before. But we're going to do that for some resources, and I went ahead and moved it. I totally forgot that I had my angel block, so I used the angel block to just you know, mark out a big area with landmarks, and we're going to chew that up, and that includes some nether fortress, so we're going to get some nether bricks. Whatever. Let's see, where's the other thing? So I made that bee thing. Usually I do this, even the last world I did this in, and I didn't even have... Give me some free XP. I did this in my last world, and I never did bees, really. But we got a APR's chest with bee thing, and if you put a fuzzy bus and you put a couple bees on the fuzzy bus and set it for comparison, basically any bees that you get in your system are going to go in here. That way if I get a ton of bees, this storage chest is easier to fill up than my ME drives. And I'm slowly making the 4Ks, so we almost have enough to do... Yeah, we got one more. And you can take these 4K drives, all of the ME drives the way they work, you can take the drive in your hand like we did with the pattern, and you shift right click in the sky or somewhere else, and it'll give you the cell thing for it, and then you just put the cell thing back in your ME system, and you can tell it to create the next level of drives for that. So the next level from 4K is 16K drives, and I can disassemble one of these 4K drives and use it as a component to make the 16K drive, which is actually kind of cool. So we'll do that when we get more stuff. But now we got resources going, we're doing all sorts of stuff. We got some potatoes going on over here, and these are cocoa beans, which you can put on Industrial Craft 2 crops. You just have to have like 4 below that soil has to be dirt. So I just dug down and removed this stone and replaced it with dirt, and now I can grow cocoa beans on IC2 crops, and that's all I care about. No crossbreeding, nothing else. Speaking of Industrial Craft, we're gonna have to do this. I have to do it. Is there a new... I think there's a replacement for frames. Let's take a stick. Where'd I get all the sticks from? Nope, not you. You. Because I'm too lazy to make actually anything. I'm gonna make... You're gonna make me everything. Let's make a couple of these. Alright, and then let's get some paper. Okay. Oh. Oh, they fling everywhere. You are now officially a paperweight. Go Industrial Craft 2. Yeah, that I had to do that too. So there's the angel block we played with, and I took my captured blaze downstairs and spawned a blizz and spawned a couple of these things. So you use these to make blizz powder, and then use the blizz powder to make this cryotheum dust, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff with that. I mentioned before with the dynamos. So all these different dynamos that Industrial Craft or Thermal Expansion has. There's a steam one, which you can pump steam directly into it, or you do fuel and water. Magmatic is magma. Compression is like a combustion engine, and then this reactant one you can mix all sorts of crazy fluids. But again, all of these only put out 80 RF a tick. They just do it at different rates. So like magma is going to be more powerful than coal, so if I put coal in here it'll do 8 RF a tick, but only for so long, 80. And then this one with bucket of lava in it will do 80 RF a tick for longer because it's got more power in the magmatic. But it still only does it as a max of 80 RF a tick, so whatever.
I guess with thermal expansion it doesn't really matter because, you know, they don't have really big powerful machines in thermal expansion. So if you want more power than 80 RF a tick, because you're using some other mod that uses more, you're going to have to, you know, that other mod's going to have to come up with some way to generate more than that. But one of the things we have is we did these steam turbines from MFR, and these only take steam directly. But another thing that I did, like I did before, is you can attach the steam turbine directly to a steam producing whatever. So in this case, Railcraft steam pressure, yeah, Railcraft boiler produces steam. You just attach the steam turbines directly to it, and basically you're going to need one steam turbine for every 2 high pressure boiler blocks, or for every 4 low pressure boiler blocks to max it out. So there's a 4 times 3, 12, and we got 6 steam turbines, which is 3 on this column and 3 on the other corner over there. And the only reason why I did it in the corners is because that way I only have to run 1 power conduit, and then that goes down to the sludge boiler way down there, so it doesn't poison me. So yeah, it's our Railcraft thing, and this doesn't actually, it wasn't keeping up with the big huge query, and I stuck these on. I don't know, that doesn't do me any good. This puts out what, like 1.3 MJs a tick, which is, so 1326 26 RF a tick out of these two. That wasn't helping. I was running out of power and I was desperate for things to do, so I grabbed the hobbies from down below and hooked them up. That only adds another 26 RF a tick, and I drained it and the AE system went black because the query was going nuts and it sucked all my power out. But if I don't do a really big query, I mean, I can expand this, but we're going to move and then we'll build more power. But so I basically just shut the query down, let it recharge, and then turn it back on. But we queried up a Mistcraft Age, so yeah. And I did get these things hooked up. I had the hardest time getting the dang fluid transposer and the magnet crucible hooked up to... You guys have a sound muffler. You're supposed to be quiet. I had the hardest time getting these things hooked up. So we snaked a bunch of wires and stuff and cabling and everything like that. So you can output... Where's that thing at? It's over here. The ME interface. So you can output on only one side of the ME interface for the recipes. So like this one has a recipe, and it's the pyrotheum and the endurium both go into the induction smelter. Over here what I had to do is this puts out, you know, make me resonant ender with ender pearls in a bucket, and the ender pearls have to go in one machine and the bucket has to go in another. And I tried outputting this directly into one of these ender IO channels, and it just wouldn't, the output from the ME interface just wouldn't go into one of these colored channels on the ender IO conduit. So I did have to actually use an item router, but they're not too hard to make. Actually, it was kind of annoying because I think I think one of the ways I had to make the item router was to use these bad boys. Anyway, so the item router, and the item router will feed into ender IO. So ME interface goes into the item router puts the buckets or empty test rack frames into the fluid transposer, and then it puts the ender pearls into the ender IO pipe on this yellow channel, which feeds it into the top machine. One of the annoying things about the item router, I never even realized this. 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 slots. Like there's 5 areas you can map stuff to go, but there's 6 sides to the block. So one of these sides doesn't do anything. It's the top side. And I was going to use the top side because I could just stick like a gold pipe right here and just send ender pearls out the top to the side. No, you have to do it off one of the sides. So right now the red side is this side over here, and then this blue side is on the back. So I had to use more conduit stuff, but luckily it's this ender IO stuff and you just hide it behind the facades. So I got this thing to accept buckets and ender pearls and test rack frames and stuff, and it'll fill a test rack and it'll fill up a resonant ender bucket to craft these endurium things. So that's all set up. I had some more lasers. This is getting more clustery again. It looked a little clean, and then I added all this other crud. And then I still have to figure out what I'm going to do with this damn paperweight. What am I going to do with this thing when I move? What am I going to do with the paperweight when I move? Do I have to do all the plate smashing and build one of those dang... I'm leaving this thing here. We're planting a tree right next to it, and the only thing left at this base when we move will be a bunch of grass, a giant tree, and that stupid paperweight. And if I need another one at wherever I set up a new processing thing, I'll just craft a new one. I'll smash some more plates and yeah. All right, whatever. So I tore up the Mistcraft world, and that thing was all done. And I was trying to figure out where did all these sticks come from, and I forgot at the Mistcraft age, the Twilight Lake biome is a Twilight Forest biome, so there's all those roots underground, and that's where all the sticks came from. But I got a ton of ores and tons of stuff, and it doesn't look like I have a lot of stuff, but there's blocks down here. So there's blocks of lapis and blocks of tin and iron and gold and stuff like that. There's a ton of resources in here now, so I don't even know if I'm going to do another one for a little bit. And I got a whole bunch of nether brick, which I can't really do a whole lot with, but whatever. And this is what I did with the ME system. So we got these tiny little 4K drives down here that they hold nothing, but like there's a bunch of them that are still empty. And the easy way to do that with ME. So ME is great because you can store, matter energy. So you can store stuff like dirt in a disk drive, like a computer drive. But that thing will fill up fast when you get tons of resources. So basically what I do is every once in a while I look in the ME crafting terminal, and anything there's a ton of, I just convert it to deep storage. So cobbles and deep storage and stuff like that. And then I was getting a bunch of nether brick, so I made more deep storage, which I had to figure this thing out because you got to use tesseract frame. And then the deep storage just goes in. Give me some more free XP. So I just convert to deep storage. Just getting a bunch of this abyssal stone, which is the ocean's the way they generate it. At the bottom there's this abyssal thing, and it's full of resources, which is why that thing's full. So I converted that to deep storage. I converted the nether brick to deep storage, and I had a bunch of sand, so that went to deep storage. We might play with some more of these barrels though, which I hid. That one's vines. So the vines barrel, the way these better barrels hook up, I'm gonna have to build some of these up. I'm gonna have to go, this is gold structure, I'm gonna have to do like the whole maxed out diamond obsidian structure or whatever. But this thing's got a built-in void pipe thing. So there's a void deal in Java. I was thinking, what am I going to do with the excess resources? Like, do I want to do a recycler? But recycler's icy too, so forget it. I don't even want to play with you matter. But there's this void upgrade. So basically this vines barrel has a void upgrade in it. So everything that, like it fills up. What does it say? 24,576 of 24,576 items. So now that it's full, it'll still accept vines, but they basically just get void piped automatically by the barrel. So this Java thing's pretty cool. So I'll probably set up a couple of those barrels type things with things that, because what am I going to do with 39,000 vines? So yeah, I'll just void pipe there. This tainted soil, I'm going to have to build one of those better barrels for that, because what am I going to do with tainted soil? You can't craft it anything. It's ugly. Yuck. And then I play with this stuff. So this is the Geostrata gems, and you can make these crystal blooms, which looked kind of cool, because like I've been playing with these magic crops, and you can make these, so you can make these seeds, and then the Certisquart seed grows Certisquart. So I figured I'll make one of these Geostrata crystals, and it will grow Geostrata crystals. But this plant doesn't drop Geostrata crystals, it only drops more seeds. So I made one seed, and then it turned into 2 when I broke it, and then it turned into 4 when I harvested it. But that doesn't do me any good. But I did make a couple of these cheaty things. So you take your crystals, and, well, I didn't make any of this stuff. I told him he to make it for me. So you take these crystals and you turn them into stuff. The purple one gives experience. You need like a gold block and some obsidian and stuff, but I had a bunch of resources now, so it's not a big deal. This is a little cheaty, but I think we'll just do this. We'll just ring the enchanting table with these things here that give you XP. You can see my XP bar going up. And then we'll just have like an enchanting table full of, when you walk up, you want an enchant, you'll walk up to the enchanting table and your experience level goes up. Whatever. So cheaty. Of course, the last mod pack had that XP, the enchanting plus, and so you make this huge, crazy enchanting table, and you have to give it the 50 bookshelves. or whatever it is, 2 rows of this to give it max enchants, and then you can basically pick your own enchant. So this is still random. So now we got a bunch of resources, we got a bunch of stuff. We're ready to go and build things out and find a place and set up a big base now. We do have the resources for that. So I'm going to set that up. I'm playing with some different blocks. This is clear glass from Tinker's Construct. This is quite clear glass from Ender.io. It's quite clear instead of just clear. Oh boy, they pretty much look the same though. And the smeltery, because you make this stuff in the smeltery, which it's kind of slow. Of course, I got a tinky little smelter. I need to upgrade that. But that's what we got in the world now. We're making a whole bunch of stuff, and we got an easy way to get resources. I just have to be careful with the query because it totally drains this little base. I think when I do a permanent base, we're going to have a little tiny boiler or something, little tiny power generation for the ME system and the processing, and keep that separate from, you know, the power we tap into for other stuff. And then we'll have something else that we test rack power out of. I've been trying to figure out, Reich is a rotary craft, and so the one thing that everybody likes about rotary craft is you can make this bedrock armor, which is super overpowered, but you need a bedrock breaker. And supposedly you can point the bedrock breaker down at the flat bedrock and then put like a gear shaft thing on it, and like basically a gear transition from, you know, power going sideways to power going down. But I couldn't figure that out in creative, so I don't, maybe it just wasn't working right in creative. But this Mistcraft world has like basically spots where the bedrock's not level, something about the way the Twilight Lake biome generates. So we could go down there. The other thing we could do is we can go on the roof of the nether and stick one of these in there, because the roof of the nether is also bedrock that's different at multiple layers. But I think that's what we'll do. We'll play with some other stuff. And then I got this, this is my rotary craft tool number 2, because rotary craft tool number 1 doesn't break machines. You can move the machines around with the tool, but it doesn't break them. So we got rotary craft tool number 2, which is a stone pick. And that's what we use to break the rotary craft machines, because apparently, like, I thought it was a power tools thing. It's basically any pickaxe that's not a vanilla pickaxe. So you can use vanilla, you can use stone, not iron, and you know, gold, diamond, whatever. But any other type of pickaxe that you make, you know, you make a Tycho pickaxe, or you make a, you know, red power or whatever, Project Red, out of this, you know, like sapphire or peridot, it's gonna break your rotary craft machine. So yeah, we got that thing. Yeah, whatever. So we got that going. We got a bunch of resources now. We can always just Mistcraft mine at age, which I'm probably not going to show all the, I don't want to show any more of the query stuff. We did a query. Everybody's seen it before. What we'll do is we'll get into some fun mods now that we have resources, and then we'll find a spot and set up a base, and I'll show you what when I set one up, I'll show you what I'm talking about with the power base thing that I want to do, because you can use these chunk loaders. And I mentioned, I don't know, but the chunk loader, you can change the radius. Like, I can boost this up really big, but then all these chunks are always loaded. It just seems, it doesn't seem very efficient to just, you know, oh, my base now borders another chunk, I'll just expand the chunk loader. It seems kind of nice. 9 chunks is a decent size for a base. It was a decent size in my last world. And we can build stuff above ground, we can build stuff below ground, we can hide things we don't really want to see. Like, I don't really want to see, you know, a giant ore processing thing. So that's going to live below ground or somewhere else. And then we'll build things that we like to see above ground. Like, I kind of like the Tycho smeltery. It looks really cool. And we'll build something like that above ground, and, you know, the enchanting table thing looks kind of cool. We'll build that above ground. We'll build houses and structures and stuff, and maybe I'll get into some Mistcrafts, or not Mistcraft. We want to do magic stuff. You're a wizard, Collins. We'll get into the magic stuff, the Thaumonomicon and all that stuff, and maybe I'll turn blood magic on. We'll play with some of that. Blood magic, I don't know. It turns me off, the darkness of it. I mean, I'm not really like afraid of it or anything, but it just doesn't seem right. And, you know, my channel's not really I don't curse a lot, and I don't do a lot of crazy stuff, and it didn't seem right. But maybe we'll do blood magic. I don't know. Looks like we filled up another episode, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks everybody who's watching and following along. Hope you like all the fun, crazy stuff we're doing. We're getting close to 100 subs. I still have I never thought I'd get 100 subs. I'll have to do a 100 sub special, but we'll work on that. So thanks everybody, and we'll catch you guys later.